Originally in English, June 2023. I have some questions in the subject. Some of them come from the comments under our last video about this. It is said that no official disclosures can be real, etc. Okay, but some people are saying here that Greer and his witnesses, that's not really official. In fact, official media and institutions ignore him always. No coverage ever is done of his events. So, can it be treated really as official disclosures, except for the part of him addressing official avenues? Seriously? Greer says that is not official and everyone believes him right away? There are levels to that game. Of course, the mainstream will not follow him immediately if the powers at be do not force them to. That gives him credibility, as if he were going against the main current, as if the government was against him. That is his role, more theater. In his job and in his role as a CIA asset, he is taught to do that. It's called negative priming. For his level, it is official, and for his job, it is, at the level of the CIA government controllers, PSYOPs, to impose their points of view about extraterrestrials onto the people. And making the press even oppose him gives him even more credibility. It's designed to be that way. We are alone going against the current, all the currents, but that is because we can see through their bag of tricks. Greer and his disclosure is exactly the same kind of psychological operation Charlie Ward was using with Trump's Patriots. This is the problem with most people. They still can't see deep enough into the rat hole. There are layers at work here. Greer is working for the first stages of the false alien invasion, and we don't know yet how that will come to be. But we here know Greer is full of bullshit simply because all he is saying conflicts extremely strongly with what we can see from here. I mean, the cosmology of aliens in general. It is very different. The races intervening, what they do, doesn't add up. Okay, and what is negative priming? Making your public or your objective think that you are being opposed when you are, in fact, acting with who you say opposes you. Okay, makes sense. Thanks. And now, continuing with my questions. You mentioned him being a CIA asset. This question is mine. How is that known to you guys exactly? We can see through most of their agendas. In other words, Greer is so big, the only way to explain he is even breathing is because he is one of them. He claims to be exposing government secret operations regarding extraterrestrials. I mean, that is nothing but theater, because if he was, he would be floating face down in the Potomac River. He is being allowed to say all that because he is one of them. And if he is not, and even if he would come into this conversation here with us, I would say that he is at least being manipulated into thinking that he is doing what he is doing in a free way. I agree. But what indicates exactly him being a CIA asset? Does he know? Has this been confirmed? This has been known here for many years. I am taking that for granted, not only because he behaves like one, but also because he is in the Taigetan databanks as a CIA asset. And they also at least suspect he is reptilian. Okay. Another question. You mentioned above that he is working for the initial phase of false alien invasion. This is a question from people as well as mine. Greer always talks about the ETs being positive and how they are not planning any invasion. People say he is warning about false alien invasion, so how could he be working for it? Is it also a part of that negative priming strategy then? Yes, it is. He is implanting the idea of aliens here, and that backs up the false invasion plans. This also misleads starseeds into following him as he is so positive. The problem is that saying that all ETs are positive is also very irresponsible. There are good ones and bad ones, and cosmology isn't so simple. It's not black and white. And even we are helping that alien invasion plan, simply by being here and by talking, I know, and that sucks. Now, a word of caution. Asking me all these questions from so many angles that lead to the same conclusion is making myself being seen as strongly opposing Greer. I'm not. I just see through those agendas, and he's just another cabal asset. I understand. Okay, so him stating that ETs are real, you think it falls into the plans of the cabal's subsequent invasion? Now people will know ETs are real, so they will buy invasion easier? But there's also a danger here that him saying there is no invasion will have people not fall for the invasion the cabal is planning. So it's all a weird chess game. Yes. Another point. Although we here may see more, we do not have all the pieces. So if we are pressured to respond something and it turns out wrong, it then may be taken against us all. So I don't want to be seen as anti-Greer. He is just one more of countless assets the cabal has. Don't worry. I already said that we are just offering our perspective. People are free to reach their own conclusions and encouraged to do so. Greer is to me an almost official declaration of aliens existing, still leaving the cabal with the possibility of denial. Same for generals that come out to speak in public about ETs. People think that the general with his authority has stated that they have UFOs or whatever. But it's not the general talking. He is only an avatar with some power to see how the people react to that news about aliens, and to be able to design with further precision what more they will do next, all with one goal in mind, the New World Order. And that means a reset. The generals are given a script to read. It's sad. So many layers of control. Yes, that is how the cabal's control works, with layers, so no one can see the whole picture. This leads me to the next question. It's from the people too. How else do you envision exposing of the cabal and its lies if it's not through the people coming forward who worked for them and now can testify? Are there any real witnesses out there? We also expose the cabal and their agendas. It's a good mission. How do you envision that happening out there in the mainstream? I mean, it should be those people who were part of those black ops who can do that. They are the witnesses, no? If not through them, how else can the cabal be exposed? What is your view on this? Real witnesses? There are, but they are under layers of bullshit. And that is by design, because that way, real witnesses and real ETs cannot be easily detected, as people will simply dismiss them away as more bullshit. There is no golden witness to reveal it all. It must always be the result of adding and connecting the dots. I see people so hungry for the lies to be exposed. what can be done to expose the cabal if not through the efforts like this? Helping the people reach a level of awareness where they can see through the cabal and its tricks on their own. It can be done because we did it. The cabal is exposed every day, but the masses cannot see it because their level of awareness doesn't let them. They interpret the data they receive by other means, mainly believing authority again. The only way to expose the cabal for the masses is to give them tools to improve their awareness and their capacity to see and understand in general. And this will not be able to be done for most, I know. So it's not through people who worked in those shady levels coming forward? For example, one of the witnesses was a guy who worked in Antarctica and he revealed the government causes earthquakes. Isn't that good that info like this gets exposed? Just trying to channel people's questions here. It helps. But people must be warned that the most probable reason why those people are coming forward is because they are playing a role. They are controlled opposition. It's sad, but that is the truth. No one whistleblower can be taken as the ultimate truth. They all give the people dots that must be connected later on by themselves, by the people, and no one can do it for them. About the witness you mentioned, that sounds credible, yes. I don't doubt some may be true or real. But what I'm trying to say is that we cannot know their real motives. And due to how the world works down there, we must always be cautious. Yes, it's a hard task for the people to discern, especially since those of us who know already still would love those agendas and shady operations to be revealed openly. So that's why there is so much hope put on those witnesses. It gives people hope that something can be done on a larger scale, not just individuals waking up here and there. For example, wouldn't you like for the Federation lies to be exposed to all the races so it's officially acknowledged by all how the Federation operates up there? It's those kinds of changes that many humans on Earth expect here as well. That's why they attach to initiatives like that of Greer's. The cabal and its operations are exposed every day. The problem is that if it is someone big and famous, like Greer, it most probably means he is part of a psyop, because if he wasn't, then he would have been taken out. But there are many smaller people who are genuinely exposing what they know. But those are small and with no power and no credibility. Those are hidden under several layers of government-controlled information contradicting them, and we fall into this category. The only reason we are still standing is because we are small. Small, therefore not credible by the masses. Same case exactly for most of the true whistleblowers exposing the cabal. And that's why if there is a small guy, he is more credible to us than CNN or BBC. The real opposition are the small people who know a lot of things and do their best to expose the cabal. And the cabal is placing their controlled opposition to prevent the smaller ones to grow in strength and to organize, therefore preventing the smaller real opposition from becoming a problem to them. Very well said. This brings me to another question as asked by someone. You mentioned controlled opposition. Someone said, paraphrasing, that the fact that there even is controlled opposition means that there is opposition, and that this kind of opposition, even if controlled, might be better than the lack of it in the first place. What would you say? Which would be better for the humanity? Controlled opposition and changes that might come with it, or failed efforts of the real opposition and things continuing as they are, or worse? Well, it's not better, because whatever the controlled opposition is saying, however spectacular that may be, would only be whatever is convenient for the ones in power, precisely because it's controlled. As with Charlie Ward and his message of don't do anything and trust the plan. Controlled opposition cannot be the truth, unless it is truth about irrelevant things. And that is another negative priming example, because if the people see that something they said was in fact the truth, they wrongly take for granted that everything else that is coming from the same source is also correct. Having said all this, there must be a lot more going on there that we do not understand yet. Okay, thanks, Tina. And the last question, also from the comments. Is there a possibility that all this is the result of the better cabal, tired of the bad cabal games and still meaning something better for the humans there? You know, with all the factions fighting and all. I think that is wishful thinking. Evidence does not point in that direction. Maybe it's a good faction trying something here? Yes, we are that faction. Face it.